And now that the amazingly epic intro is over, I'd like to welcome the viewers back to the second video for additive. Now, based on the title, if you looked up the game, played the game, whatever it is, you might be able to tell that this video is about Beltmatic, which is one of my favorite games. So let's jump right in. So right now I'm just on the Steam page and launching it. And by the way, in the description of this video, there's going to be a link to the Discord, the Reddit, the Steam, everything if you're interested. Just dealing with a couple things there, and this is going to take a minute to load. Thanks to the power of editing, not for you. Just wait a second, and here we are. Now, this might look immediately complicated to you, and trust me, it is, but not as much as you might think. So, we see here are make anything machines, or MAMs, but we're obviously not going to start with something like that. We're probably going to start somewhere much simpler. Now, this is my big personal world where I tested a lot of things, did a lot of this, did a lot of that, you know. But I think we're just going to create a new one for this video so I can demonstrate how one start the game and then go into some detail about how make anything machines work. And again, I'm going to apologize in advance for my voice. I have a sore throat right now. And I'm doing this in one take since I'm brand new to YouTube and I don't think quality is of the highest concern at the moment. But as soon as I get this whole video thing down, I will definitely start upping the quality. Until then, let's take a look at some numbers. Now I'm just scrolling around here, moving around the world, and this is a big one. This is my massive 24 belter make anything machine. See, it goes all the way up there. I can't seem to find the image of it that's placed together. If I could, I would include it in the video, but if you're not seeing it, it's not here. So now I'm just going to create that new game that I said I'd do, so I can demonstrate how you start. This is going to take a second. I'm amazing at navigating UIs. I found it. And here we are. Now I'm just going to quickly skip past all the tutorial things, since I already know how to play the game, but if I ever do another longer video, I'll definitely explain that. Now, the first thing I want to do here is place down an extractor and connect it with a belt to the hub. This is going to take numbers from the extractor and send them to the hub, which is where you want to go. And you see it's filling up, 8, 9, 10, there we go. Now I want 22s, and I unlocked a new component, the adder. Now, what the adder does is it adds as you expect. So if I bring in a row of 1s and another row of 1s, it's going to make 2s. Right now I'm just hooking a couple of them up to the hub, and I'm going to start taking the 1s out. Now, if you just downloaded the game, you would notice that the belts don't actually go in these L shapes that I'm making, they go in straight lines. And that's because I enabled this. It's a setting. All you have to do is go into options and find it. So just make sure that no one was taken by surprise by that. So you can see the hub has the extractor has a limited capacity for outputting numbers. But don't worry, there are upgrades for that later. Speaking of upgrades, once I get things going in here, I'm going to have to start doing those. And there we go, just unlock them after putting enough 2s into the hub. I'm just going to quickly connect these up and then show some upgrades. And I'll do a little bit of talking about that over there. Just bear with me here. Okay, so these are upgrades. With upgrades, all you have to do is give the hub the right numbers and they'll let you upgrade things by clicking on buttons that appear. When we go back to my main world right now, you'll be able to see that in a lot more detail later on. So just moving around here past some other projects. Now if we can find a number, I'll be able to show you the rest of the operations. Let's see, a good one to find here is probably 1. So if I can see one, there's one, A1. So I'm just going to take a belt out real quick. You've already seen this part, but I'm going to continue. See that bridge? Now, you didn't see that bridge piece originally when I created the new world, and I just held down shift there to not automatically place a bridge, and then I can place a bridge and it lets belts go over each other, like a bridge would. Now, we've all seen the adder, so I'm not going to go into too much detail with that. Add, like we've seen. Again, first YouTube video, I don't know what to do here. Not for a second, but like first real one. I'm really looking for feedback on how I'm doing. I know I added an exas, I know my narrating exas, but oh shoot, I need to bleep those. I'll be fine. Always looking for ways to improve. You know, ways to improve. Now, you can see I placed down a multiplier for divider and a graph, and they do what you think. You just pump the numbers, and then from the output, which is the lighter one, comes the output. There's also exponentiators, and they do what you think. Now, the divider is an interesting case. It outputs a remainder and a divided by b, but there isn't always a remainder, and in that case, it doesn't give you a 0, it gives nothing, which is the bane of existence of anybody who's making a man. Man, by the way, meaning make everything machine. So it's a little laggy here since I have a bunch of big things. Really stuttery actually. But now it's going through, you see all they do. Now that big blue thing, and one take, you're gonna have to live with this. Big blue thing is a storage. It can store 10,000 at a number and output them just like an extractor. So we're going to move back over to here, and we're going to take a little stop at upgrades. You can see just how far they go. Now over here we have some make anything machines. Here's my first one. It's very large. Not as large as my big main one, but it's definitely up there. So a little later on in the video, I'm going to explain how this works. But first, I need to explain to you the concept of a make anything machine. So you sort of get a basic understanding of how it works. Now, this is in no way in depth. If the audience wants further videos on this, and I hope you do, I really like making these videos, I'll completely make something more in depth about Beltmatic and MAMs, but I just want to see how a video will perform for me on YouTube. So you can see we are in the Google Slides right now, and I'll start making a diagram of how a MAM works. Just give my terrible video slicing a minute. While we are here though, I wouldn't hurt to ask you for like and subscribe, maybe a comment on the video. I know all the big YouTubers do it, but I have to too. You know, we all need subscribers, I guess. Again, new to YouTube, no idea what to do. Anyways, we're gonna jump right into the explaining here. So the ones place, just to start this off, I suppose you've all heard of place values. You know, ones place, tens place, hundreds place. Now the ones place is just your digit, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 0 times 1. Now 1 can also be 10 to the 0. And why that is because sort of like, imagine 10 squared. Now you know that's just 10 times 10. What if it was 1 times 10 times 10 times 10? And it's just 1 times 10, the number of times of that power. So if you have 0, it's just 1. Get that? So now we have tens place. Tens place is just 10 to the first power based on what we just explained with the ones place over there. And I know this might seem a little tedious or useless to explain, but it's very handy later when we try to explain MAMs, and if we're going to do a later video about more in depth to make anything machines, we're going to need to have this like basic knowledge. So tens place, hundreds place, 10 squared, and then thousands is just 10 to the third, and so on. Now, I'm not going to type any more of these out, but it is worth noting that these just go on forever. Okay, now, this shape I'm making here is going to be an adder. Now, this represents the adders from Beltmatic that I've shown you already. Okay, so this diagram right here is of an adder, like I just explained. Like the plus sign, all that. So, for the purposes of this Google Slides experiment of mine, I'm going to have lines going in, and those are going to represent belts. And I'm going to have lines going out, and those are going to represent belts. You're just going to have to watch to get an understanding of what's going on here. Again, I'm not the best presenter or videographer or YouTuber. I want to get better. So, this is where it starts, right? Okay, so I'm just adding a line in right now. And this is going to be like, your, let's say, shoot. So we're going to take those, and you get, like, say the tens place is 9, and the ones place is 3. The number is 93. So this here is a multiplier. To actually get that 93, you're going to need to get a 90 and a 3, which means you're going to multiply the 10 for the tens place and the 1 for the ones place by the 9 and the 3. Let's just quickly demonstrate here with this little multiplier diagram. So let's say it's 5 and and 10 to the 2. Now this is gonna make 500. Now the output from that is 500. So it's 2 plus 30 plus 500 equals 532. And then you can see, I'm sorry, I just had to take a couple seconds there to clear my throat. You can see the 532 right there once we catch up to the video. Now, here we are. This is the MAM, big one. First one too. So you might be able to see how it's working here. You have your digits, and they're getting collected, quite inefficient. I built this a while ago before I had all the upgrades like we discussed earlier. And there's the adder setup, which you have to chain them together to actually make the whole number. The multipliers, you can see right there, they're blue. You'd have to connect the digits to there to program it. And actually, them being programmable is the main, important thing that makes MAMs so useful in Beltmatic. Sorry, there, just a fourth row man. It's calling me. So you have the output, which is 3 belts at the bottom there. Now, you might not have seen these style components, like designs for the adders and multipliers and whatnot, all over the place in this Beltmatic world, and that's because I've improved stuff over time, and these are old designs. I'm going to say that again, old design. So you see over there, but there's nothing coming from that big MAM. So where is it coming from? It's coming from the thing I showed you earlier, the big one up top. Now that one actually uses universal MAMs, which if we do another video on this, I will completely explain in more detail. Now up here you can see you got a bunch of them, 24 to be exact, for a 24 belt MAM, since each one makes 1 belt. Now this thing is enormous, and you can see there's a program area here. You have your digits, and you have all the places, 10 to the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to 9. Actually, this is so enormous that this entire cone is dedicated to making zeros. And then on top you have more zeros for placeholders, since you need to fill in every digit, even the ones that come after the last one. Like if you have the number 1 million, but you need 7 digits, I'm sorry, maybe being stupid here, 8 digits, you have to put a 0 before the 1, then you do the rest of the zeros for the million. Now the output just comes down through there. I don't really have so much more to explain about Beltmatic for this video. The outro is coming pretty soon. But I hope you all enjoyed. Again, second YouTube video, no video, really how to do this. But you know, that's the fun part. Hopefully I find an audience, hopefully you enjoy my videos, hopefully you enjoy them when they get better. Please do ask that you stick around after these notably terrible videos to see if it gets better, if I stop, and I'll make sure to tell you if I stop. Wish to find an audience, all these great things. I think I'm going to start an upload schedule, well, don't quote me on that, for maybe Saturdays. I'm not certain about that, and I'm not certain it will be like Saturdays once a month, or Saturdays once every 2 months, or Saturdays once a week. Who knows? Anyway, I think that nicely concludes it all for this video, and I will now roll the outro.